Just to get right, had to get with my life.
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you won't call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, got a new topic. Should the winner of Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. move to 154 or fight Boots next? Alright, y'all, so a lot going on, man. A lot going on surrounding the Spence Crawford fight. A lot going on and a lot not going on. A lot of not announcing the fight going on, but yet there's a lot of fanfare going on around this fight. People are very, very interested in it happening. And I'm very confident that it's going to happen. I'm just not sure if it's going to happen this year. But I'm confident it's going to happen. It has to happen. You know, both of these guys, they've pretty much done everything you could do as a welterweight. There's nothing else they really could do, or nothing else they really could prove or accomplish as a welterweight besides fighting each other. Now, there are the young guns that are on the come up, but until those two guys fight each other, you know, the young guns really don't matter. We want a definitive, undisputed champion, a number one of number ones in the welterweight division. Something you haven't had for a long time. And, you know, so we know these guys are going to get it on. What's their next move? I would, you know, I'm very interested in knowing what's the actual next move. Like, is this fight happening this year? Are they going to fight someone else and then it happened in 23? Or are they going to go ahead and fight each other at the end of this year, and then they either make a decision on moving up in weight or fighting Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, maybe even Keith Thurman. But more than likely Virgil Ortiz or Boots Ennis. Which one of those two options are the better of the options for either Spence or Crawford? And why are those two options good options?
Listen, man, at the end of the day, people say this and that. That fight's not even done yet. It's not even probably halfway done yet.
I think it's a split decision. You know, I think it depends on the fighter. If Errol Spence wins and becomes an undisputed champion, I would love to see him fight Boots. I would love to see him fight Manny Pacquiao. But I would love to see him fight Boots and then move up to 154. The problem with that is, I really think Boots has a high chance of beating him. And so it makes it a dangerous fight. If Errol Spence is the undisputed champion but then loses to Boots, is he still as appealing to boxing fans at 154 as he was at 147 as the not only unified champion but the undisputed champion? You know, would he be able to still bring in the crowds and the pay-per-view numbers if he lost to Boots? Would he even move up to 154 then, or would he automatically engage some type of rematch clause, and then we have to go through a rematch and wait out process for him to even move to 154?
You know what I'm saying? Because they probably battling who wants this, who wants to walk out first, who wants to walk out second. Don't shit.
You know, there's a lot at stake for both of these fighters. You know, Errol Spence wants out of this division because he's pretty much outgrown the division. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, I think is getting older, is running out of competition. You know, Spence is running out of competition at 147 as well, but I think Spence has more upside, if you ask me, than Terence Crawford. What about Terence Crawford? Let's say Terence Crawford wins. Should Terence Crawford move up in weight, or should Terence Crawford try to fight Boots Ennis? And now, I think it's different for Crawford than it is for Spence. I would encourage Crawford to fight Boots more than I would for him to move up and fight a Charlo. You know, even though he's already he's already shown interest in fighting at Charlo and moving to 154, which I don't think is necessary for Terence Crawford. I think he could stick around 147 for at least 2 more years and have good competition. Because think about it. If he beat Errol Spence Jr., that would be his last fight in 2022. If they fight in 2022. Let's say he beat him in 2022 or 2023. The beginning of 2023. He could then wait until the summer of 2023, take another fight, and he doesn't have to go straight to Boots, even though Boots is the mandatory IBF. He could go fight Keith Thurman in the summertime, you know, as a tune-up for Boots. And then in 2024, go fight Boots Ennis. You know, make Boots have to go fight Virgil Ortiz and go through some more wars, because, you know, it could possibly be a situation of, hey, what if Spence doesn't move up? Let's say Crawford beats him, and Spence doesn't move up in weight. He actually sticks around. You know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some type of rematch clause, so we don't know how that part's going to play out. But let's say Crawford beats him, Spence doesn't move up in weight, he sticks around 147, and he challenges Boots first, you know, just to stay active, you know, at 147. Let's say Terence Crawford doesn't immediately want to give him a rematch or something. Then, and he ends up fighting Boots or Virgil in the meantime, you know, and then Terence Crawford ends up fighting Keith Thurman, and then in 2024, let's say Boots beats Spence, and then they have a mega fight between Boots and Crawford in 2024.
To be honest to God with you, bro, I don't even see that fight happen. Honest to God with you. Like being honest, like being a boxing fan.
You know, there's a lot of interesting stuff that can play out, whether it's sticking around 147 or moving up to 154. I don't feel like Crawford makes such a good showing at 154. I think it all does depend on the Spence fight. Let's say, once again, if he wins the Spence fight, it changes the whole dynamic of 147 boxing, because I don't feel like Terence Crawford is the pinnacle of 147 boxing. I feel like Errol Spence is. But if Errol Spence loses, then, you know, it changes the whole landscape. It puts Terence Crawford at the top of that mountain. And I don't think Crawford moves up as quick if he wins. If he becomes undisputed, I don't think he actually moves up in weight. I think him talking about moving up in weight is something he would do if he lost. Because I think if he lost to Errol Spence for undisputed, you would immediately have to see him. Well, there would be a rematch, I believe. But if he lost again, the only thing he could do after that is try to fight Boots or Virgil. And if you just lost to Spence, you're probably going to lose the Boots and Virgil too. So I think him moving up to 154 is a save face type of tactic, just in case he does lose to Spence. Then he can say, well, I don't have to stick around here and fight these young lions at 147. I can go straight to 154 and perhaps get a catch somebody on their way out and give me a good 154 victory.
It's not going to happen. It's going to happen like Manny and Floyd.
You know, it's going to be interesting how this plays out, man. It's interesting watching this whole process. It's frustrating. I wish it didn't have to carry on this long. I wish these guys would just sign the contracts already. Well, I wish Terence Crawford would sign the contract already, but this is a business at the end of the day, and he's making the business moves he felt like are best for him.
3 years later, what happened? Some HBO came together and they made $250 million.
Now, can Boots beat either one of these guys before we get out of here? Boots can most definitely beat both of them if he wanted to, but it's all going to depend. I'm telling you, it's going to depend on how that Spence-Crawford fight turns out. If Spence pulls a new trick out of his hat in the Spence-Crawford fight, you know, it might not look good for Boots. If Crawford pulls a new trick out of his hat in the Spence-Crawford fight and beats Spence, then it might not look good for Boots. Either way. So we just don't know. We have to let that fight play out first to know exactly what version are we going to get. Love to see Boots fight Thurman. I think that's the perfect setup for who gets to fight next for undisputed.
It's a time for everything. They know when people want it. It's when the moment. the moment.
You know, let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. The like button for me, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but you're more than likely to get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there. I'm done rambling for now. It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are...
While you was thinking twice, I already rolled a dice.